Is this the day we've been waiting for? That big boomerang where everything finally comes full circle, where it went out and it comes back. The battle, the epic conclusion. WCW versus WWE 2.0. Is this All Elite Wrestling versus WWE? Is this going to create the phenomenon? Is this going to force WWE to become the promotion that everybody on the internet says they could be? Or is this just another company that's going to take up some market share, be successful, and not affect WWE in the least? We're going to debate everything in this video, which I'm in front of a green screen, but the lighting isn't even set up for the green screen. It's kind of pointless. I'm Tub Emu. Let's talk some damn wrestling. All right, so you've probably seen the news. It's been rumored forever that Tony Khan, which was one of the co-owners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, dad owns the team. Now you have Tony Khan who's interested in this. He has a lot of TV connections. So I think one of the big things that people miss is, yes, wrestling is kind of hard to find a place for TV. If you look at Impact Wrestling, they went to their sister channel now, which is partially owned by Anthem or Fight TV or however that works. And they're going to go to a way smaller channel from Pop TV. Now you have a rumored show from All Elite Wrestling coming to TV, which they have a press conference coming out. In this press conference from All Elite Wrestling, the perfectly timed trolls that they are, trolls are just very smart marketing, is they've been teasing it on social media with thanking Tony for tickets to games such as Chris Jericho at the Vikings game, or, you know, the Bucks, or Cody at a Jacksonville Jaguars game. These things are kind of big. They're a big deal because the Khans have money. They own a soccer team, football, if you know you're not that kind of person, and a football team. So I guess they own both. So I guess that phrase works for either one of them. All Elite Wrestling, based on wrestlers, we now know that the executive vice presidents, of course, are Cody Rhodes, Matt, and Nick Jackson. The Young Bucks. Adam Page is going to be there. We still don't know the future of Kenny Omega or any of the other people. And there's a lot of speculation of who could jump ship from WWE to All Elite Wrestling. I wanted to throw out a couple fan things right away, and I just want to get this off my chest for the payoff. This is like the biggest crazy booking I'd ever have. Imagine announcing all of this, making it seem like such a huge deal, only for this press conference on Jacksonville on the 8th. They come out there, the fans are pumped, they got thousands of people. Mic fell off. All Elite Wrestling has thousands of people in this parking lot of the stadium, and then they get up there and they rip off the All Elite shirts for WWE. And it was a huge ploy. All right, enough fantasy booking. Let's get into it. So, with rumors of people like Styles or Bryan or people that may not be happy in WWE, somebody like Nakamura who's finishing up his contract, whether he goes back to Japan, there's so much speculation, and even superstars are giving props to things like AEW. And I think it's great having a place for other workers to go work and make money. I think if you like professional wrestling, whether somebody's getting used or not, you at least know in WWE, I mean, they're getting paid. They could be making a lot more money for the family if they were getting booked properly or selling merchandise or being put in better positions, but you're still getting paid. I think the one thing that's important to keep in mind with this whole AEW, WWE feud or what could possibly happen is this could be a huge catalyst for both companies. Because I don't think WWE is ever going to go away. They signed the biggest TV rights deal, so now they have even more money to throw at these talents who would possibly sign with AEW. AEW has announced the signings of people like Britt Baker, who competed at the original All In, and with All In announcing Double or Nothing, which is a great gambling term. You know, Cody has done such a great job with merchandising. The Young Bucks are absolutely insane at merchandising, and I think the fact that they're going into business for themselves is very smart. But let's look at it another way. What happens to these smart business guys who Cody was in the WWE, never really found his grasp, was with Stardust. His dad founded and helped run one of the most successful promotions of all time. Was probably one of the most brilliant minds in all of professional wrestling that Dusty Rhodes had. So Cody got to see that mind completely. Cody took a chance. Dusty supported him. He went out on his own, traveled the world, took the world at his fingertips, and now people are clamoring for him. WWE wanted him back. He got approached to start his own damn wrestling company, and he is. And I think that right there is incredible. It's that drive that we don't get to see in WWE. Like, there's a lot of people that say that superstars that are in WWE are content with not being on TV. Sure, they want to be used, but you know they're being paid to be athletes, essentially, to kind of sit on the sideline and still make a pretty good paycheck, even if you're not getting pushed. But now you have a big promotion. Ring of Honor is great. Lucha's great. But this has real money behind it. Ring of Honor, you know, owned by Tribune or whoever's technically still behind this, Sinclair Broadcasting. But now you have All Elite Wrestling, who has real money. And you know, I think this is something that people are going to overlook when we talk about other networks. And I mentioned it earlier, is people are like, where are you going to find a TV deal? Right now, they're targeting Tuesday, and the best thing about All Elite Wrestling is that the cons have connections to TV. You know, you already have the Jacksonville Jaguars, who obviously have TV deals, so you know the cons probably have to have a pretty good relationship with TV networks. They already have apparently had some offers or some talks. Now, originally when All In was going on, possibly on like WGN, which, side note, Spectrum is standing up to Tribune, and right now we lost WGN. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Tribune, so I'm fine with them taking the channel off. I would prefer it not to be on WGN. I'd prefer if this was going to be huge for All Elite Wrestling, if they're on a bigger channel. Now, does that mean they have to be on something like USA Network? No, I don't think so. I do think, though, one of the best things of all of this that could possibly happen is if we do create a battle. Let's say All Elite Wrestling goes out and they do start legitimately pulling, you know, some talent from WWE. WWE does feel threatened, which I don't think that ever will be. They signed $2 billion worth of TV deals. They're going to have the money to be number one. There's just no doubt about it. But Vince is going to be focusing on the XFL, and now you have this other promotion starting. So how big of a genius is Cody and the Young Bucks? Let's say All Elite Wrestling is kind of, you know, encroaching on some territory, and then all of a sudden WWE offers a buyout. Straight up. They just offer a buyout, and now the boys are getting rich. Oh, that'd be the biggest ploy ever. Could you imagine Cody Rhodes in that board meeting with All Elite Wrestling and WWE? WWE is like panicking. They're losing fans to All Elite Wrestling left and right. And then at the end of the meeting, when they shake hands, where WWE is going to buy All Elite Wrestling for over market value, Cody does the, or some with Stardust, and be like, you should have made me damn Stardust for so long. I could have done so much more. Which, that's the crazy thing to see, is you don't know how great you can be if you're stuck in the WWE machine until you leave the WWE machine. And guys take control of their own future, and then they have to work their ass off. Guys like Jinder Mahal and Drew McIntyre defy the entire stereotype of a WWE wrestler. They both admitted they got lazy backstage. They didn't care as much. They lost the passion. They both left and became dominant damn monsters and are two of the best wrestlers right now, whether you like Jinder or not. I like Jinder. You know, when Pulse and I got to interview him at SummerSlam, you hear him talk. Very genuine guy. Drew McIntyre, same thing. Cody Rhodes took that passion with the fire, lit it under everybody's ass. Jericho, Cruz, ROH combinations, New Japan. You New Japan champion. This is a guy that is not going to give up. He comes from a lineage of people that they kept going. They kept fighting. Dusty, like I said, one of the best minds in professional wrestling. You have to imagine, like I said, I only met Dusty once, and that was at a WWE event. And that was just for like a brief, like, how you doing? And, you know, he has to have one of the best minds, in my opinion, obviously because of how people talk highly about him, how highly successful he was in developing characters in NXT that we know and love. But at the same time, just imagine how much Cody is soaked up over the years. I think Cody Rhodes is a hell of a lot smarter than, I don't think anybody calls him, you know, not smart, but Cody Rhodes is a damn smart individual. He's got the American Rebel cigars. He's on Arrow. He's made connections with everybody, and it's paying off. So I'm excited for this AEW versus WWE possible feud. Are they going to be competitors? Maybe. Are we going to get a Monday Night Wars or, you know, some sort of competition between WWE and AEW, like WCW versus WWE? Possibly. We don't know, because we don't know how much of the money the cons are going to throw in. We don't know what TV network. We're going to have to wait till some of these details come out on the 8th, and you would kind of see where we're going from here. There's been speculation about a second pay-per-view coming, Double or Nothing, which they've announced is coming to possibly Detroit. You know, people have looked at who they're following on Twitter. They follow Goldberg on Twitter. Like, what a huge thing that would be. But then the one crazy thought that I had in the back of my head as you talk about everything with, I joke with a fantasy booking of them pulling off the shirts. Is there any part of you, and I want to leave you with this question. Everybody calls Vince out of touch. Or like Triple H, they want him to take control. If Triple H was as close to Dusty as everybody knew, and Dusty was that damn smart, is there any possibility that Triple H, and I've said this, and I was going to write the book, Wrestling Isn't Wrestling, from Max Landis. I have been jokingly writing Wrestling Isn't Wrestling Part 2 for the last couple of years. And one of the things I said was Triple H is putting oil wells all over the world back in 2015 or 16 when I wrote that. And now he has performance centers and wants to have them all around the world. He's worked with these promotions all around the world and has now forged partnerships with them, and they don't get to wrestle other places. And everything that I've been talking about is happening. So is there any possibility of something like a Paul Heyman, Vince McMahon thing going on? Is there any chance, any possibility, no matter how crazy it is, that in some way, shape, or form, Triple H, Vince, the McMahons secretly want this competition? That maybe, hell, maybe they're even speculating or fueling the fire a little bit. Maybe they're wanting some competition. Maybe they need that competition. Maybe they've gotten too complacent. Maybe if you have competing shows, it drives the buying rights up or the rights for themselves so they can realize, hey, we're putting up bigger numbers than AEW, pay us more. But I just want to leave you with that after seeing the ECW documentary where Vince wrote the check for Paul and nobody knew. We know that Tony Khan's behind him and he's got a lot of money. But is there any chance that Triple H and Vince want this? Vince loves competition. He's telling AJ to let the animal out. I think Cody's let that animal out of the damn bag and has ran with it, and I couldn't be happier for him. So do you think Vince and Triple H want this? Or do you think they're scared in their boots of Cody Rhodes, Tony Khan, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega possibly, Adam Page, Brandy, Britt Baker, and whoever else they sign? Because you know Cody's got great connections with New Japan, Ring of Honor. Will there ever form alliances? Will WWE have no choice but to carve out a deal with New Japan Wrestling and bar New Japan from working with All Elite? Are we going to start to see those factions break down, brother? Are you going to start to see the alliances form? Right now we have what? Progress. I'm trying to remember all the promotions they work with. Evolve in the U.S. Are we going to start to see battle lines drawn? I mean, because already WWE doesn't really work with like Ring of Honor or anything like that, but are we going to start to see these companies kind of put walls up? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you excited for All Elite Wrestling? Are you thinking it's like, it's going to blow over? Or do you not care because you just want to support wrestlers and the fact that they have another way to make money is a great thing for the business? That's where I'm going to leave you. Until next time, I'm Tubby Emu in front of a green screen that's not even lit properly. It's not even a green screen in this video. And I've been pointlessly rambling. Until next time, we'll talk wrestling some other time, which I just said that. Do I just leave now? Bye.